Good morning, one and all. Next 45 minutes or so, I will be talking about research collaboration, how to find a suitable collaboration, how to maintain, and how to go forward. Though I made some slides and collated from various sources, but mostly in the next 40-45 minutes, I'm going to share my own experience in the last 15 years, 5 years as a postdoctoral student in Portugal and in UK, and the last 10 years at IIT Madras. So in the last 15 years, I had opportunity to collaborate with various researchers from the different countries like Portugal, UK, South Africa, Australia, Malaysia, and so on. And I also collaborated for various purposes, uh, for scientific research, for publications, for bilateral grants, for multilateral grants, within country collaborations, and within institute collaborations, and so on. So, without much delay, let's go into. As you know, I'm from chemistry department of IIT Madras, and I am going to share my own experience in the last 15 years or so on collaborations. So, we would be talking about introduction to research collaboration and different kinds of models available in collaboration, how to identify the right collaborator, and how to start. Often we had a problem with the initiation, and we know that good well beginning is a half done. And how should collaboration be arranged, and once it started, how to maintain, and how the researchers contributions in academic collaboration will help, and are there any tools to find out these collaborations, and so on. It would be very informal. It's like just talking to each other, and feel free to ask me questions through organizers or directly to my email. So the collaborations is like a teamwork and a group, and it's like a scientific family, and it should be a give and take policy and so on. Things I will tell in forthcoming slides in much detail. So let's begin the question: why to collaborate? Why one should collaborate when he or she can do research alone? Well, everybody has some limitation. We cannot do everything by own. Maybe because of many reasons. Maybe the lack of time, lack of sources, lack of funding, and lack of experience in the new fields. So to overcome all these things like funds, human resource, time, and the specific knowledge or the software or the some modelings and so on. For these things, we need often collaboration, and to enhance the competitiveness or to make our work more competitive or more challenging or more total. These collaborations are essential, and it also helps strengthening our research publications, strengthening our grants applications, and strengthening our understanding towards the specific topic. And of course, by collaboration, we will learn something new, and this overall will help to build your track record or boost your productivity and help for promotion and so on. There are various kinds of collaboration models, as we know, within department collaboration, within institute collaboration, and across the department in the same institute collaboration, within different institute collaboration, and so on. And we do have industry academia collaboration, and academy, industry, government collaboration. Some collaborations even with different institute within national collaboration and international collaborations. Why we are discussing so? Because you can't apply same rules for different kind of collaborations. Some collaborations are only for research paper publishing, some are joint grant applications, some are joint guidance for thesis or various different kind of degrees, MPhil, PhD, MS, MTech, MSc. Some are exchange collaboration where student from one group will go to the other group and work and vice versa, especially with the different countries. So when collaboration types are different, slightly rules are different. However, most of the rules or most of the unwritten rules and understanding is more or less same in any kind of collaborations where humans are involved. In the collaboration, two people are involved. Sometimes it's very easy and sometimes it's challenging. And when in collaboration, when you have more than two people, three, four, five, six, seven, so on, quite challenging, but sometimes more people would be better. So each one of them have their own challenges and opportunities, you will see. If you see this scientific collaboration of India, this has been done using Web of Science. India has been published more than 14 lakh publications in the open literatures. And you see, India has collaborated with more than 200 countries for their academic research. We have not included here in the conference papers or patents or so on. And most of the India's collaborations are, you can see here, the leading country is America, the other one is UK, Germany, South Korea, France, China, Japan, Australia, Canada, Italy, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Switzerland, Russia, Taiwan, Brazil, Netherlands, Malaysia, Sweden, Holland, South Africa, Singapore, Belgium, and Austria. These are the top 25 countries. There are still so many countries are there with whom the Indian researcher have been collaborating. So this also helps us to understand the government policies or the government bilateral thing where we have more chance if you write a joint grant with that country. Of course, it depends on the number of researchers and the funds allocated with the respective countries and so on. However, we are not going into that details. The ability to build effective collaborative research activities is critical skill to the development of a successful career. So it is no more optional. Many institutes, any researcher, when they go for an award or they go for a promotion or they can go for the next pay scale or when they hire the new faculty, they are asking how have you collaborated with the different countries researchers, have you collaborated with the industries, have you collaborated with the different field scientists. So without a demonstrated capacity to deliver on a projects that mandate collaboration, a competitive position cannot be sustained. Even our country come up with some proposal where it is mandatory to have a collaborator from different country or different institute and also from at least one collaborator from industry. So this will help to understand the need of different peoples, different researchers of the different topics and the researcher from academia and the industry. It's a win-win situation and understanding of it. So how to start, getting started and initiating these collaborations? So there are some checklists before going for collaboration. one need to be very clear why he or she need to have a collaboration and what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. What do I have to offer in a collaboration? That one should know. And how much you can disclose in the beginning itself. Will you open all your cards and tell everything and then wait for the opponent's expertise? It has to be very crucial things to understand. Why it would be mutually beneficial? Please remember, any collaboration without having benefit to the both the parties, without mutual beneficial, no collaboration will stand for long. Collaboration cannot be done by very different level of researcher. Let's say someone is at very beginning stage and he wants to collaborate with very experts in that field. It's unlikely that it will last long. It will end with the sore experience that very experienced person expect all the work done by the young researcher. He will just give some inputs, or he will be looking overall, and all the work should be done by the young researcher. However, often I come across that many young researchers from the small colleges or the universities would like to collaborate with the international level uh, experienced researchers, assuming that just with by their name, their publication or grant will be successful. However, this will not last long for various reasons. The experienced researcher will not have time. They are already involved with so many things, and that is not in line with the ethics of the collaboration. Unless the experienced researcher will give you critical inputs to change your research line or to help you to modify your research and add more experiments or the models or go into the deeper understanding, change the way of your entire presentation of your public, so on. Unless he or she significantly contribute, it won't call the collaboration. Is it up published work, or let's say you want one sample from somebody and you just take borrow one sample, it doesn't call collaboration. Or you don't have one simple experimental technique and you ask somebody to help her, and that is not even 5% in the paper, and for all the other 95% work you give him co-authorship. This is not called collaboration. It has to be, one has to be very clear that, and mentioning clearly is important, that this is one of our experiment where our total work is more than 95%. This is less than 5%. We will acknowledge for this work. Is it okay? It would be unethical both the side expecting authorship in that paper, those who do small experimental or small study or this one. So one has to be very, very careful in using the resources, maybe access to one simple study or access to one sample. And often it's quite challenging. It's not easy. I do understand. I have seen there are unwritten rules. Unless you give co-authorship, they may not do study. So in this kind of cases, you can plan work such a way that their help is substantial. If not 50%, at least 35 to 40%. Then you can collaborate. That call, then it's what you call, at least you can give some justification for writing grant or this together. Do you have the right skill sets and the personality to make the work? So you have to identify each one's strength and weakness and the skills and the resources they have and the funds they have and the facilities they have, and all these things is crucial before initiating the collaboration. A few considerations before starting, especially if it is with government funding agencies, or if it is with industries, or if it is with international collaboration, or if it is with very high level, more than two institutions, or two institutions with big caliber or are joining together. It is very crucial in the beginning itself. Everything has to be very clear. IP issues or collaborative agreements, non-disclosure agreement or material transfer agreement, and funding availability resource agreement. Let's say you are doing one mega project between three or four uh, institutions across the country, and once you have taken the instruments, where it will stay, that has to be clear from the beginning. And cross institutional ethics, you have to be careful, especially when you have a joint PhD students between two different country universities. The course requirement, the number of publication requirement, the credit requirements are different in the different countries. So is it a joint what do you call the degree? All degree will be given in two different places, or single degree with the both the institutes. This has to be clear. So when you are going to do the collaboration in the big level, and if you are working on a project based collaboration, one has to be clear about the timeline. In first semester or in first year, what you will do and what your collaborator will do. This has to be clear in the beginning, and often it is essential that everything should be in writing form. Even sometimes if it is not in the formal writing and the stamp paper or the agreement, if, let's say both are academicians and you don't need this kind of things, even in this kind of cases, writing is always better, because you may forget, or later on he or she may forget and argue may happen. So this informal writing can be in informal email exchange, or even simple WhatsApp exchange or SMS exchange, or even a phone call if it is recorded. So who to collaborate with? To continue on that topic, you have to collaborate with the researcher with a mutual interest. The collaborative two people or more than two people's research interest should not be very far. However, it should not be very similar. It should be complementary skills. It should be multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary, but should not be the exact expertise. Then what the other people will do, it's often if it is overlap, then it's create a problem. Both would like to do the same thing, and for the new work nobody will come up, and it's challenging for both of them. So similar expertise people need not to be collaborate. However, the topic of the interest should be the same, and it should be complementary skill sets. Okay? Reduce unnecessary overlap, competition, and increase chance of engaging in the collaboration if you have multidisciplinary. If you see most of the high impact journal papers or most of the mega projects are multidisciplinary. It's the time that one cannot do everything by their own. You should have two or three or four different expertise of the different field. Multidisciplinary project, multidisciplinary research work is always, or most likely to go through in high impact journals and likely to get more citations, and this kind of projects likely to get successful in attracting more funds. People who work too closely on a subject are viewed as the competitors and often reluctant to collaborate. You can't collaborate with the person who is working exactly like you and whose resources or the experimental and computational or other expertise is exactly the same or overlap more than 80%. You can't collaborate. They are called competitors. Makes it easy to define roles and ownerships if you have difference. Multidisciplinary research greatly enhance the competitions, and you have to be understand whether you want to collaborate locally, nationally, or internationally. See, local collaborations often have advantage that you can just walk through and discuss, and any dispute you can solve immediately face to face. And national, sometimes you can just take a phone and call each other and sort it out. But sometimes international collaborations are challenging because everything you can't put it in writing. And sometimes put it in arguments and the discussion in writing is challenging and may lead to different direction. Often when you talk, the small discrepancies will be solved. And if you do international collaboration, the time zone change and the language change and the accent change has a problem. So one has to be careful when you do the international collaborations. You have to respect their accent, respect their timeline, respect their geographical, and respect their cultural, because you have working day and for them it's a biggest festival of their country, so you should understand their cultural diversity and their other religious activities, so it should not conflict. How to find a suitable collaborator? It's not very difficult, but it's not very easy, and it's not so quick. One has to watch bit long and with depth. It's like you are looking for a match, or you are looking for a boy or a girl to your sister or brother or your son or daughter. How much depth analysis you will do? Like that much depth analysis is required when you look for a collaborator. You read more and more journal articles, keep a record who are working exactly like your research, call them competitors, who are doing complementary research, call them potential collaborator, keep a record who are the new in the field, who are at the mid-career level, who are at the experience level, make a database, who are at very close to you in the vicinity geographically, in the same state, in the same country, who are nearby countryhood and who are well known and who are in the international level in the given field are very well known. Make a list and try to make an informal network. Maybe you can try to contact them by email. Let's say you have seen one paper which is of your expertise and done some extra work where you are interested in collaboration in future. The paper has been published today. You can write immediately on the same day or next day, dear so and so, I have gone through your paper. It is very excellent, or this is nice, and end with one or two questions. Don't start telling collaboration. Just say congratulations, or just say that work on theme based. Title should be the short subject, and go into the straight away to the point after only brief one line introduction. I am so and so from this lab in this country. Done. I have gone through your recent paper published in this journal, and this work is excellent. We are, however, how you quantified this, how you tell this small question. We are also working in the same area, and please have a look our recent work published in the similar line. Put direct links and close the matter in short. Would would love to discuss further on this topic at your convenience. I'm sure in 1 or 2 or 3 days they will reply. They will reply with some, and in this way you can keep discussing with the published work. Follow their scientific profile whom you really like in Twitter, in LinkedIn, in Facebook, or in other scientific social medias like ResearchGate, ORCID, so many. I will give you some examples at the later slides. And comment there. And don't be so critical on published work, but it should be like that you would like to know the detail. Questions should be very, what do you call, friendly. You can ask questions, not a problem, but you can't criticize unless you know the depth. So informal discussion on published work is the key point to start the collaboration and strengthening network. If possible, meet them at the conference. See, when you go for a conference, please try to talk to as many people as possible and exchange your email ID or exchange your visiting cards and gather all the cards or email IDs or note down in your notebook then and there itself in the same day night when you go to hotel. Just one line. What was your question or what was his question on what topic you discussed? So when you come back to the home after 3 days or 4 days, once conference is over, you just start with the subject, nice meeting you, or nice to meet you in this conference. And start with one line, it was nice meeting you, and I loved the discussion on this topic. And let's keep in touch. And you put all your contact details, and some people may prefer only email, some people prefer only WhatsApp, some people may prefer phone call, some people may prefer SMS, some people may prefer the chat, but you should open for all. When you want to make a collaborator with a different field, you should learn all this. Of course, they are time consuming. You need to have expertise, and with the time you will understand what is more important, what is less important. And if possible, you can visit their lab, you can write to them, okay, and you can see their lab at their convenience. And that's approaching a potential collaborator, how we can approach. I'm just looking at the time. I think I can go for 10 minutes more, 15 minutes more. Take an interest. Make sure you are informed their current research interest at that. So often what happens, any researcher will be working on 2, 3 or more areas, and the collaboration you would like to know, or you would like to do research collaboration on a particular topic, that researcher has been stopped working on that long ago. So often it is required that even though the potential collaborator is experienced in that field, is he currently involved in that topic? So knowing their current research interest is very, very essential. And starting should be always simple. You can't collaborate with an unknown person all of a sudden in a mega project. All of a sudden to joint guidance. All of a sudden to a JAX paper or Nature paper. So you have to start in a simple informal email exchange, or meeting them at the conferencing, or visiting their lab if it is time permits, or engaging them with the different subject, and bring, or just if you are from the same country, you are visiting nearby place, you can visit their lab, or if you are in the same city, you can go for a dinner or go for a cup of tea and talk together. understand together, see who are the other collaborators with him, and talk to them how their experience in the collaboration. Of course, you can't dig out too much, and the human relations are quite not straightforward. If you ask more and more people, you will get mixed and mixed responses. But if you see, you talk to 10 people, and out of 10, more than 8 or more than 7 people says, no, no, it's tough to collaborate with him. It's better to stop there. But if you see 50-50, then you have to wait for a while and see. But if you see that more than 7-8 people says, no, 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 he's very good at collaboration, he's quite fast, he's friendly, and he's accommodative, no doubt you can go ahead, even though 1 or 2 people says he is not good or she's not good. Invite them for a visit and prepare for a travel, or you are ready to travel, and often you chat. If it is a different place, you can call, or now always it's better to see their facial expression also. So video chat is also essential. Without seeing them, you can't start collaboration. And how to build it? Establish a vision for the project or the collaboration. Why you want to collaborate, you should be very clear. What you are expecting from the collaborator and how you will contribute to collaborate. Both sides should be clear. Identify both sides skills and both side resources. It should not be uneven. It should be like a balance. And please remember, no collaboration will have exactly 50-50. There should be always give and take policy. 55-45 is okay. Even 60-40 is also okay if 2 collaborators are there. You should not look always for 50-50. But it should not be like a 90 and 10 or 85 or 50. That cannot be called a collaboration. Bring together members with a diverse background and respect their diversity and experience to promote their mutual learning, and define the individual roles and responsibility and contribution. So always better, it should be in the writing mode as the minutes of the meetings or understanding, or even just in SMS or WhatsApp or in email. Discuss goals openly and be prepared for disagreement conflicts. So you should not always think that whatever you say, that collaborator will say yes. Then you will not proceed further. You have to always ready for difference in opinions, not a problem. There should not be difference between you two. In opinion, difference is okay. Agreement, disagreement, conflicts, all are part of science. But you should have a justification for that disagreement, or justification for why you say yes or why you say no, and talk openly. So you have to be acceptable and give fair chance to everybody to speak. You can't say that you don't know in this field. Often, great ideas will come from less known people or new people to the field, because they are very curious and ask so many questions. Agree to process for sharing data, credit, authorship. You have to be very clear what you will share, what you will not share. And we have to mind our language both in speaking as well as in writing in the collaboration, because they are from the different background, different field, and different geographical. Whatever you feel it is very common, it is not common for them. So you have to understand their level and their background. And celebrate, often collaborate. Small celebrations is boost your success. You often meet for a cup of tea or a dinner or so on, or something like that is very essential. Often meeting and talking to each other, and sometimes collaboration will strengthen if you make it like a family. So professional collaboration, if you meet with the family dinner or these things, and sometimes it will strengthen. Share the load. Please remember, collaboration is not one way. It has to be more or less equal. And most crucial part is communicate. You have to be tell all the collaborators. If it is one, or if it is two collaborator or three or four, everybody should know if it is a part of the project, what is happening in the project. Otherwise, there will be a gap. Let's say you have a three collaborators and you talk with one and the third one is unknown, and later on he come to know that you two already spoke to each other, he will feel offended or she will feel offended. And it's not always necessary that you three talk. Even if you two talk, not a problem, but you put him in a confidence that, oh, we met, we spoke together, and one line or one topic we spoke on this, that's fine. You need not to disclose all the details, but everybody should know. Keep your collaborator informed for everything at every stage. It is always better to put them in loop and everybody get the email or everybody get the WhatsApp message or everybody know what is happening, even though they are not contributing in the specific task. Let's say 5 6 collaborators are there and only two has to discuss on the same project, but other need not to contribute, no problem, but let them inform. And that's the key. Often meeting face to face is always good. So I was telling where you will see the new papers and new collaborator list and new researchers, you have to use these scientific publishers and scientific search engines, SciFinder, Web of Knowledge, Scopus. They offer keyword based shortlisting, number of paper wise shortlisting the author, citation wise shortlisting the author, H index wise shortlisting the author, country-wise shortlisting the author, theme-based shortlisting the authors. So you can see who can be the potential collaborator. But of course, you have to dig in further and go to their personal website and so. And you can do keyword-based search, country-wise search, or the theme-wise search. And there are some free search engines are like Google Scholar, Microsoft Academia. You can make them friends in Mendeley, ORCID, Publons. You follow them in ResearchGate, and you follow them all this scientific media like site you like and all these things. And of course, you follow the researcher in your field through what you call Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. And not making collaboration is important, but the most important thing is maintaining. One should have a lot of patience while dealing with. For small dispute, you can't break your relation or you can't break your collaboration. Please remember, scientific collaboration breaking is more dangerous. All of a sudden, if you break a collaboration, he or she may become your competitor or enemy, and who knows, your future publication will go for review there, or your next grant will be, he will be the reviewer. And if he is not or she is not ethical, they will be very critical and unnecessarily reject your things. So one has to be very careful, and you should know your limitations. You can't be collaborating with 15 20 people at a time unless you have that many manpower, that many students working with you, and that many different projects. You should know your limitations, how much time you can divide with everybody. You have to know your limitations and capabilities, and be inclusive. Sometimes you don't agree with somebody, but put your words very politely. No need to be very harsh in the collaboration, even though youngster or they are very unexperienced or they are students or a postdoc. Be polite as much as possible. Of course, you can put your point very clear, you can disagree, and identify potential pitfalls. Reach out. Don't think that why I should call first, why I should send email first. It has to be give and take policies. So if your collaborator is not coming forward and talking with you or discussing with you for whatever reason, nothing wrong. You take a phone and call him or her, or send an email, or just simply one line WhatsApp or SMS. Are you busy? Can we talk? Because this kind of small gesture plays a critical role in strengthening the collaboration. Or making the gap wider and wider. It has to be, one need not to be so much, what do you call, strict in following rules. It should be give and talk, take policy, and it has to be very informal. And you should respect their diversity, and you should work with their differences and managing conflict. Somebody's working hour, somebody may not like to wake up early morning for meetings, and somebody may not like to work late night. So you have to respect them, and when you work on deadlines, you have to be very careful with your words and very your what do you call, writings, because everybody is not same like you, and their working culture, working habits may be different. Some may work in the office longer hours and do not work at all at home. Some may work in office hours very less because of the meetings and other things, and they do work in the late night at home. So you have to understand their working culture, working habits, and so on. So before ending, let's see 10 rules for the successful collaboration. Don't be in a hurry. Take your own time and select collaborator very carefully. Understand your limitation. Don't collaborate with so many people at a time. Need not to be exactly overlapping, but it should be contemporary. Set the ground rules before you start. Tell clearly what credit collaborator will get, what you will get, and how you will proceed further. If possible, put it in writing. Do what you said you would do. So it has to be very clear what you will do, what other will do. Put it in writing, and whatever you promise, whatever you said, you do it. If it is not possible for you, later stage, whatever, tell as early as possible. Don't put the collaborator in dark and take more and more time and don't deliver, because everybody's time is very, very important. As much as possible, be open and be honest. Don't try to cheat, because you never know. Instead of you are cheating him, you may be cheating yourself. One collaboration break may affect the longer term many collaboration breaks. Please remember, in scientific world, nobody is small, nobody is big. Anybody can grow quickly, anybody can fall down quickly. And entire world is very small. Everybody knows everybody in short time if you are working on the similar research area. So it is very, very essential. Give respect and get respect. Even sometimes your collaborator is short tempered and shout, maybe push back yourself. Give a chance him or her to correct himself or herself. Don't react immediately. Give them one more chance or two more chance. Even in spite of not having your fault, if you push back, it doesn't mean that you are weak. It doesn't mean that you are at fault. It means that you respect collaboration, you respect relation more than your collaborator. Protect yourself, protect your relationship. Always acknowledge and cite collaborators. And appropriate credit should be given. This is very, very essential, and it is ethical. Seek advice from experienced scientists. Keep a good things going on. Neglect small disputes, and give more and more chance, and keep happy and make them happy. Exchange and celebrate and enjoy. Thank you.